Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you tonight. We're going to be reviewing none other than Royal Rumble 2000. I'm sitting here holding the DVD, honestly, because I just want to show it off. I got it signed by Mick Foley, right there on the cover of Rock's face. I got this signed at the Mick Foley comedy show here in Sacramento, California. This was right before WrestleMania 29. He was preparing his Hall of Fame speech. Very fun night. I think I got 3 autographs from him that night. One of them, I chose the Royal Rumble one. I don't know why I didn't pick one of the sort of Mick Foley documentaries. I know that the newest release, the Mick Foley Have a Nice Day Blu-ray, hadn't been released yet. But for some reason I picked this one. This honestly, top to bottom, is probably one of the best Royal Rumble cards out there. This is probably a must-have for anybody who's a fan of wrestling DVDs. If not, this is a must-watch on the WWE DVD. Wait a minute, WWE Network, not the WWE DVD Network. So soon, maybe someday, but as of right now, the WWE Network, awesome watch here for you. Can't go wrong. Royal Rumble 2000. So many awesome things were going down in the WWE at this time. I guess it'd be the WWF as well. And then we go to the street fight for the WWF Championship. Basically, this is Triple H against Cactus Jack. You know, the McMahon-Helmsley era was going strong these days on Raw and SmackDown. Basically, Triple H and Stephanie were running the show, much like they were doing it today. And they decided to make Mick Foley's life a living hell. Basically, you know, harassing him to the point where they finally fired him. The Rock came down in the middle of the ring with all of the WWF superstars, heels and faces, and basically said they were walking out on the McMahon-Helmsley era. They were going to boycott Raw if Mick Foley did not receive his job back. Mick Foley came back when basically Stephanie and Triple H gave in to the demands. And when he came down to the ring to, say hello and being welcomed back to Monday Night Raw, he challenged Triple H to a street fight for the WWF Championship at the Royal Rumble, which was accepted. From there, they would go on and they would wrestle in I believe it was a tag match, where Triple H would beat Mick Foley in the middle of the ring, basically after giving him a pedigree a few times, and I think he smacked him around with the ring bell. And from there, Cactus Jack debuted because Mick Foley knew that he would have to be a little bit more hardcore in order to go on and battle Triple H and win the WWF Championship. This would be a big turn. If you can remember back to I can't remember if it was 96, it might have been 97. Mick Foley had been wrestling for Mankind for a while. It was in Madison Square Garden as well, and they were going to have a Falls Count Anywhere, I believe, a match with Triple H because they had been feuding at the time. And Cactus Jack debuted because basically Dude Love and Mankind both sat down during an interview and both agreed that in order to beat Triple H in a street fight, he was going to have to be a little bit more extreme. And Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley at the time, sells the debut of Cactus Jack better than anybody. I mean, he'd fight anybody that night, but he's not fighting Cactus Jack. No way. And they basically play off that, bringing it back. I can't remember if it was 2 years or 3 years. I guess that was either 96 or 97. But basically, they get in the ring and they have one hell of a match. This is probably the best, Triple H versus Cactus Jack match there is. I do like the rematch the next month in the Hell in a Cell, which was supposed to be the first Mick Foley retirement, where he would get called back to do WrestleMania 2000. But in this match, it's really, really cool. These guys, start out just all out brawling, throwing each other into the steps and fighting around the ring, fighting up the entranceway. And as they are fighting up the entranceway, it's sort of set up like it's almost like a back alley, you would think, but it's right there in front of all the fans. And there's pallets and all sorts of things. A pallet gets laid down where basically they're just going to do an easy spot where Cactus Jack is going to take a back body drop onto the pallet, and when he hits the pallet, which is made out of wood, little wood strips, he hits it, it makes the pallet break, and when the pallet breaks, the wood snaps and goes up like this. It goes right into Triple H's calf, right above his boots, right below where the knee pad would be, and it's actually like a knife stab right into it. You can see him have to pull it out, and once he pulls it out, you can see the blood come gushing out of it, and it's something that they can't stop the match. They can't do anything. He just has to severe all of that blood loss in his leg, basically, with, he's probably got splinters and all sorts of stuff in there. If you asked him, he probably didn't even feel the pain. He probably just knew that he had to get through the match. At one point, Cactus Jack is handcuffed and is taking chair shots from Triple H, much like the Royal Rumble was. The Royal Rumble, Mick Foley versus The Rock match as well. But in this match, The Rock comes out and makes the save with his own theme music, and he's basically able to lay Triple H out with a chair shot, take the handcuffs off of Mick Foley, and the fight goes on from there. But Triple H ends up gaining the victory. Awesome match, about 30 minutes, great, awesome stuff.